Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'll be completing the challenge set last video of whether I can complete Pokemon Emerald with just one Absol. To begin, I am facing the Flying type gym. At this point, Absol had got to level 50 and is around 20 levels higher than the gym leader's Pokemon. The battle starts very well with Winnona's first 3 Pokemon going down without giving any proper fight and trouble for my Absol. However, the issues of this gym lied with her 4th Pokemon, Skarmory. Skarmory is a part steel Pokemon, meaning that all my current moves will not be very effective. I put up a reasonable fight and got close to taking out the Skarmory, but I think I'll need to get a move that will be super effective. After I did a little research on what TM's Absol can learn, I went to get the Thunderbolt TM from New Marvel. This made the battle a lot easier with the first 3 Pokemon going down like the last battle with ease. Then with Skarmory it was a different to last, as I landed a couple Thunderbolts and that sent me to Winnona's last Pokemon, Altaria. Altaria used a lot of stat booster moves that would have allowed for a large attack to be used, but before that could happen, Absol landed enough Thunderbolts for the battle to be over. After dealing with Team Aqua and Team Magma grunts for a while, it led me to meet Team Magma leader Maxie, who in fairness had the best leveled Pokemon at this point by far. Leading with Mighty Hyena, after a few slashes by Absol, he was done. Followed was a Crowbar, who took only 1 Thunderbolt due to his part Flying type, but not before he managed to land a Confuse Ray. Last up was Camerupt, who had the potential to be a significant issue if Absol hit itself in confusion, but fortunately enough, he snapped out of it and survived the earthquake and finished the battle. Next up was the 7th gym, which in Hoenn is a Psychic type gym. As this is a double battle, I had to use my other Pokemon as well, but I made sure they did little impact as possible. The gym leaders start with a Natu and a Claydol. Absol targeted the Natu first and it was an easy one hit with Bite. Then they brought out Lunatone, but I went on the attack to Claydol and managed to get him in red health. At this point, it was only my Absol left. Fortunately for me, Lunatone wasn't using any attacks and therefore led me to focus on the Claydol, which I eventually took down after it was healed. Then out came Solrock. I was put to sleep and I was sure this was where the battle was going to end, but Absol managed to hold on with red health. Fortunately, Absol woke up and finished the Solrock, leaving the Lunatone, who didn't have any attacking moves, making it easy fight to end. At this point in the run, I was certain I was going to be able to complete the challenge, as I hadn't had any significant issues along the way, and where I thought I would get stuck for a long time, it was easy enough to deal with. Dealing with all the trouble that both Team Aqua and Team Magma had caused with Kyogre and Groudon, next up was the Water type gym. With Absol knowing Thunderbolt at this point, this battle was made a lot easier and I just spammed it on all his Pokemon except for Whiscash, who could have given me significant issues, but all it took was 2 bites and he was dealt with without giving me a large damage from his earthquake. At this point, I had now collected all 8 gym badges, and it was time to go to Victory Road where I saw Wally. But before I went into the battle, I went in and bought Fire Blast from Lily Cove City department store to help in the Elite Four due to one of his members being Ice type. Due to knowing Fire Blast, this battle was dealt with easily, and I went on to the Pokemon League. Before I went on a recorded run, I had a few attempts to make a plan of what I was going to do, and within that time I got my Absol to level 73, which obviously was a huge benefit. As well as level boost, I also went to the abandoned ship and grabbed TM13, which is Ice Beam. The plan was to use Fire Blast for the first 3 members of the Elite Four and Ice Beam for the Dragon type. This first battle went really well, with Absol landing consecutive slashes to Mighty Hyena, and then one-shot Fire Blast and Shift Tree and Cacturn, Followed was the Crawdon, who was one shot with Thunderbolt, and then last was Absol, who gave me more of a fight than the other Pokemon, but at the end was taken down by consecutive slashes. Next up was the Ghost type leader, and Absol's Dark type came into play here, with Fight taking down her first 4 Pokemon with 1 attack, and no damage in return. Her Dusclops landed an Earthquake, but after it healed itself with Citrus Berry, I was able to use Fight again, and the battle was over. After that, it was the Ice type leader, which started off with a Thunderbolt to the part Water type Celio, then a Fire Blasted Glalie, which also went down with 1 hit. Then another Celio came out who managed to survive the Thunderbolt and was able to full restore, but after 2 more Thunderbolts it was taken down as well. Then another Glalie came out, and after a single Fire Blast was able to be taken down as well, and then it was just a final Pokemon, Walrein. Walrein managed to survive a Thunderbolt, but the use of a berry meant that full restore wouldn't be used, and the next turn it was finished off. The penultimate battle was next, and this is where I brought in Ice Beam to get a super effective attack. Ice Beam took down his first 2 Pokemon without a fight, and then was on to Kingdra. I opted to use Thunderbolt, which didn't finish it off, but after a few Ice Beams as well, one being a critical hit, he was taken down. Flygon followed, who has a 4 times weakness to Ice, which meant that one of Ice Beam finished him off, and it was on to his final Pokemon, Salamence. Salamence is a very beefy and high attacking Pokemon, being the pseudo legendary of this region, but it only took 1 hit because of its 4 time weakness like Flygon. Last up was the champion Wallace. Wallace uses Water type Pokemon, which meant Thunderbolt would be key in this battle. The battle started off really well with Wailord going down to 1 Thunderbolt. Next up Tentacruel, who was taken down to yellow HP but was paralysed in the process and unable to attack, leading to an easy finish on him. Followed was Ludicolo, who only took a couple of slashes, and after him it was Whiscash, who suffered the same fate. Gyarados was the one who was next, and he was 4 times weak to Electric as he is Water Flying type, and he fell to a single Thunderbolt. Then it was down to his last Pokemon, Milotic. Milotic managed to stay at half health for a Thunderbolt and landed a Toxic on me. After another Thunderbolt though, Milotic was taken down to 1 HP and was able to use Recover, but after 2 more, he was done and I had beaten the champion. The challenge is now over and I managed to complete without any significant issues, but the fact that Absol is a relatively strong Pokemon gave me a good chance in the first place. But I didn't want to go too hard on the first challenge video. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have any suggestions for future challenges, let me know via my Twitter or in the comments. Thanks for watching, and also don't forget to like and subscribe. Cheers.